How to know you've made the right decision. In this video, we're going to talk about decision making, which is a huge deal for some people, and how you can make more efficient and effective decisions that get you the results that you want. So there's a 4-point decision making process that I use, and I'm going to include it in the link below. It's in the description below. You can grab that and you can watch that video and use those 4 points. But we're going to talk about them in this video, and I'm going to share with you how you can implement them and give you some examples of where these types of things come up. So the first point about making a decision is deciding how much motivation there is. How badly do you want it? How much advantage is it going to give you, or satisfaction or happiness or joy in your life? Because if you remember from my previous videos, we only have 6 emotions and we only like 2 of them, joy and excitement. So if it doesn't bring us joy or excitement, guess what? It's not a decision that we're going to even think about or even want to invest our time in. You know what it's like. Somebody knocks on your door and asks you, do you want to buy this internet service or this phone service? And you're like, no thanks, I have everything I need. And they keep persisting with you, but you've already checked out. You made a decision. Why? You have what you need. You don't want to hear what they're having to say. You don't have any issues with it. But you might. So let's say you did, and you don't like the service that you have. Maybe, you're watching Netflix and it's timing out and you're getting really annoyed. And so when they knock on the door, you're like, yeah, let me listen to this guy and see what he has to say. It's the competition. Maybe there's something in it for me. But the bottom line is, if there isn't something that is causing you to want to move to a different state of mind or get something better and have more joy and excitement, you're not going to do it. It's not going to pull you forward. So that's a critical factor in making a decision. And the higher, the tougher the decision usually comes with the higher prices. So the higher the price, the tougher the decision. The lower the price, you just buy it. If somebody makes a presentation and they offer you a $47 package or a $47 product or a solution and a phone call with them, hey, $47, you'll buy it. In fact, I've asked some of my clients about this, and they will easily spend $300 or less if it is a $100 product, or they'll spend $3,000 or less without too much thought. So just keep that in mind. Those are the ranges that people will work in. So when you're making a decision, just think about it from that context. If it's $300 or less, make a quick decision. Don't hesitate about it. Just decide whether you like it or not. I've made $25,000 decisions with the same process. So the second thing you want to do is ask yourself, is this going to move me in the direction of my goal? Just remember that the answer to life's questions or life's problems are in the questions we ask ourselves. So ask yourself, is this solution going to move me in the direction of my goals? If you're making a big decision, you're going to hire somebody, you're going to work with them for 6 months or 12 months, is it going to move you towards your goal? Maybe it's longer. Maybe like my friend who was hiring a contractor, it was a 2-year extension on his house, 3,500 square feet, and, a lot of work and a lot of investment of time and energy. And, but it's done. But it took that time. So, is it going to move you in the direction of your goal? Ask that question. Write it down. Get some clarity about it. And then once you have that clarity, then you can decide, do I want to go to the next step? Which is this going to be in harmony with my values and the world around me and the people around me and my family? Is it in harmony with them? And if you're spiritually minded, with the universe? Is it going to be in tune with the world around you so that you feel good and know that you're not doing something that could be harmful to others or do harm later on or cause problems? For example, let's say you're making a $25,000 investment like I did, and that impacted your family's ability to live. Let's say, you were taking some of your savings and pouring it into something, or $100,000 or $200,000, so that's the kind of thing that you want to think about. And sometimes you make an investment that doesn't go right, and you get to decide how you want to handle that. As an example, Bob Proctor was my mentor. He once made a $250,000, $250,000 investment into a real estate deal that didn't go through. and there was a lawyer that was handling it all, and that was his partner. And basically, he didn't fulfill what he said he was going to do. And in the end, what happened was Bob was just going to let it go, and he ended up sitting down and having dinner with a judge and shared his story and shared his experience about working with this lawyer and the whole deal going south and losing money. And the judge suggested that Bob sue this lawyer, take him to court, basically ruin his life. And in the end, Bob said no, because that wasn't in harmony with his vision of life and the universe and so on. And he didn't want to stoop down to the level of that lawyer. He just let the $250,000 go and found it somewhere else. And, that's an approach that you can take as well if money came in, or if you spent money and it was lost, so think about it from that context. The other thing is you want to ask about whether it's going to do any harm against anybody else, if it's going to violate other people or their rights. You want to think about that, because if it is going to do any harm against anybody else, that's intention. You have to think about that. Your intentions matter. If you think about how our energy flows and how our emotions are sending out signals, we have to realize that our intentions matter more than our words. Because if there is a universal energy around us, it reads our energy, it reads our intentions, not our words. We could lie and get away with it, but our intentions are not getting away with it. Definitely not. So you want to make sure that your intentions are aligned with the decision that you're making and the thing you want, the goal that you want, the outcome that you're going to get. If it's very clear, then you step forward. You need to have clarity, focus, and then see that end result, and then build the dots, connect the dots looking backwards. Steve Jobs said that you can always connect the dots looking backwards. So connect those dots working backwards and picture what you're going to feel like, what that's going to look like, how that's going to impact others and benefit others, and then make a decision and move ahead. Because ultimately, your decisions will compound. Just like your thoughts compound, your decisions compound. Every decision you make will compound. And in the Atomic Habits book by James Clear, he talks about this. You make one wrong decision and let it compound, your whole life can be 37% worse within a year. But if you make one good decision, that can compound. That can get 37 times better over a year. But if you make one bad decision, that can get 80%. It can cause 80%, get 80% worse. It can cause a lot of damage. So making decisions is really critical, and you need a system to do it. And you need to tap into some higher power, some higher purpose, and know what your purpose is and your meaning in life. And by the way, there's another video that I made which is all about your values. You can check that out as well. Actually, you can play it right after this. It'll be on the screen to your right. You can play that. That's all about having values and a values assessment. If you don't have that, then you don't know what your morals are, you don't know your values are and your standards. So check that video out. And also in the link below, the 4-point decision-making process. Watch that video. You can take a screenshot and apply that system to your life. I've used it so many times and I've gotten so many opportunities and so many good things have come back to me. Maybe not instantly, but they always came back to me. And it is one of the best things that I have ever learned. And I did get it from one of my great mentors, Bob Proctor, passed this down to me. And so I'm giving it to you. So check out the 4-point decision-making process in the description below and watch that video about creating your values, because that is going to be such a game changer for you, especially in the world and environment that we're in right now. It can really, really change things. If you want to change the way you see things, then you have to change the way you do things, and you have to see things differently. So go ahead and implement that. And remember, you've got this and I've got your back.